On Tuesday, Telstra's almost 1.5 million shareholders will make one of the most important decisions in Australian communications history, whether or not to support the $11 billion deal to effectively sell the company's copper wire assets to the NBN company and kickstart the national high-speed broadband rollout. Now, Telstra's management has argued that doing the deal is financially a vastly better outcome than ignoring it. However, it's clouded by a poisonous political climate and the ACCC demanding changes to Telstra's own plans to split its wholesale and retail divisions. In a moment, I'll talk to Telstra Chief David Thodey about what's at stake. But first, Neil Woolrich looks at the background to the vote.
After months of haggling between politicians, regulators and telcos, this week Telstra shareholders will finally get to vote on the deal that could transform the company and Australia's telecommunications industry.
The value of the deal is really that Telstra substituting a cash from a business that's in decline into a relatively known cash flow stream. That's quite important. But against that, the future of the NBN is relatively uncertain, and Telstra's then got a job to make sure that whatever happens to the NBN that Telstra doesn't end up picking up the tab for that.
On Tuesday, Telstra shareholders will decide whether the company signs up to the National Broadband Network. Under the agreement, Telstra will get $11 billion compensation in exchange for shutting down its fixed-line network and migrating customers to the NBN. An independent expert's report says that outcome is nearly $5 billion better than Telstra's next best option, so Tuesday's meeting is widely seen as a done deal.
I think so. It resolves a lot of uncertainty for shareholders, having a deal on the table and knowing what cash they're going to get out of it. That contrasts with the last 2 years of great uncertainty, so I think shareholders will take that opportunity.
Ian Martin doesn't think Telstra will go on a buying spree, but will have to think carefully about what it does with the cash it gets from NBN Co each year.
The main one is around the dividend and maintaining the 28 cent per share dividend. I think they're well able to do that once they know that cash flow profile from the NBN deal. Beyond that, they've probably got several hundred million more, maybe up to $1 billion a year in some years, that could be directed back into a share buyback program.
Before it can think about spending the NBN bounty, though, Telstra still needs the Australian Competition and Consumer Commission to approve its structural separation plan. The competition regulator has to be satisfied that Telstra will act in the national interest as it migrates customers to the NBN and, more importantly, when rivals access its existing network in the years before the NBN is built.
Quite a lot of complications in that. It's going to take the ACCC some time, I think, to sort its way through those issues. We're not expecting a decision until well into November on that issue.
This industry has been highly litigious and a fairly frustrating industry in terms of what consumers want. That has been largely because of the integrated nature of Telstra. So structural separation is essential, and real transparency and equivalence of services to competitors like us, but also Telstra themselves.
Optus's Maha Krishna Pillai says it's critical for the ACCC to have real powers over the next few years to keep Telstra in line. The competition regulator revealed in August that it has serious concerns with Telstra's structural separation plan, saying that important changes would need to be made.
I think it was a bit of a try-on by Telstra to try and put something very weak in place. We've had a number of discussions with the ACCC. We're very comfortable that the ACCC understands the challenges and the issues for competition and therefore consumers to benefit in this industry.
But casting a shadow over the whole process is Australia's fractious political environment, and it's not clear how the NBN might proceed, if it proceeds at all, once the next federal election is decided.